So I don't want to freak you out too much, but I feel it really needs to be said that I'm sure you're aware yourself that we're living in a world that clearly is falling apart. Clearly, political systems are falling apart, businesses are falling apart, the economy is falling apart in pretty much every country in the world. There's all these wars going on. Yeah, things are falling apart. And you look around you in your own life, it might look fairly pleasant in some places, but things are falling apart. They are falling apart. Relationships are falling apart. Systems are falling apart. Everything is basically falling apart. Yeah, it's a crazy world, and it's getting more and more and more severe. Yeah, it's a crazy world. It's not getting better. It's getting worse. Now, I'm not trying to freak you out here. I'm not. This isn't like a doomsday prophecy or anything. But it's absolutely critical, and I'm sharing this from the heart with you because I'm concerned. I'm concerned about the state of the world, and I'm concerned about you, and I'm concerned about how if we get attached to things being a certain way, yeah, and they're not going to stay the same because, as you can see, things are falling apart. So we can't change things that need to fall apart. Actually, it's good they're falling apart because a lot of these systems, government systems, political systems, these big companies, all this stuff is corrupt, yeah, and it's a dysfunctional system. And it's a good job it's falling apart actually because it's a mess and it's causing all sorts of problems to people. How many people work in these horrible factories or work in these nasty offices? It's not a very nice life anyway. So most people, frankly, even miserable. So it'd be better off if it did fall apart. Yeah. So main thing we need to realize is that the ship is sinking. The Titanic, this world as we know it, is falling to pieces and it's sinking. It's already hit the iceberg and it's now gradually sinking, slowly sinking into the water. And we need to basically get on the lifeboat and get out of there and get as many people as we can on that lifeboat with us and help people get off the boat quicker, earlier. Yeah, if you've seen the film The Titanic, they didn't believe it was happening until it was too late. Yeah, a lot of people were sort of in denial. They didn't have proper boats in the Titanic movie. They didn't have enough lifeboats because they thought nothing would ever happen and it would never sink, but it did sink. Yeah. And then a lot of people ended up dying and drowning and freezing to death. Yeah. Now, we need to be the ones who get the boats, get on the boats, get other people in the boats, and get the hell out of that thing as quickly as possible. Right? Because this is not going to be sustaining itself for a lot longer. You can already see it falling apart. So what does this mean? This means to some degree, there's practical things like having your own food if you can and stuff like that. That's part of it, having self-sustenance of being in a situation that's more reliable, yeah, that's part of it. But that's not always practical for various reasons. So the deeper thing we need to do is basically free ourselves internally from attachment to the sort of cravings of this sick system, this whole MTV culture, all this mainstream consumerism. We need to internally be detached, not be interested in it, have no interest, kind of see it for what it is, see it as a clever system that's designed to suck everyone into it. We're like little pawns in a system, yeah, and the system is designed to abuse us and neglect us. We need to get out of that system primarily inside of ourselves first, yeah, and then we can get out of it practically, yeah, but it always starts with an inner shift. So I'm going to just give you one thing you can think about, because this is of course a big topic, and it's just to see things for what they are. Yeah, I've been blessed with the gift of seeing through bullshit very, very, very well. Yeah, I can see straight through things. But it's a skill that we develop over time. So start looking at it and seeing where is stuff unsustainable, where are things basically dysfunctional, not working, where does it just not make any sense. So I think one of the best questions to ask is why, yeah, like children are told not to ask why. That pisses off their parents. Why do you keep asking the question? When are we going to get there? Yeah, But we need to ask why. Why is this the way it is? Why should it be like this? Why am I doing this? Why is this happening? Why is the post office like that? Like, why are these people acting the way they are? Not to get spun out about it, but to be curious, because the more we're curious and interested in what's going on, the more we can start to see it from different angles, yeah? So one of the best things to do is to just simply to ask why the hell is all this stuff happening, yeah? Because we're told we shouldn't ask it, but we need to ask why. Why is it happening? Why am I involved in this? What is really going on here? And I think so the best question is, why is this happening? Another great question is, what is really going on? That's a really, really good question. What is really going on here? What is really going on? Not what does it seem is going on, but what is really going on? What's really going on Facebook? What's really going on in your life? What's really going on in your family? Yeah? How are you really feeling? And when you speak to people, friends of yours, family, instead of just saying, how's it going? Oh, everything's fine. No, you say, how's it going? How's it really going? How are you really feeling? Like, what's really going on? Yeah, I'm asking you, what's really going on? It's like, all right, not what we say is going on to other people, but what's really going on. So as we ask that question, what's really going on within ourselves, what's really going on in the world around us, what's really going on in our family, people we know, then we can start to find out what is the truth about this world we're living in. And we can bring ourselves outside of this system, because it is a system. It's a system. It's a complicated system. Because I've got a background in business and systems, I understand systems quite well nowadays. And this economy in the world and all these different things, it's a very elaborate system, and we're being spied on. Like, this video is being recorded by the NSA. Do you realize that? Like, all this stuff you do on Facebook, all your phone calls, the NSA is recording it. This is now in their database, yeah, this video. Do you know what I mean? So there could be someone in the security people watching this video in like 5 years, We're being watched. We're being watched. We're in a system. We're being watched. It doesn't mean we should freak out about it and live in a forest like with a little shack, because we have to deal with life. We've got nothing to hide anyway. But there's a system going on, and that system is collapsing, and that's why there's all this security and all this fear around, because they know they can't control it, because it's got too out of control. And the thing with systems is that once they get too complicated, yeah, like imagine a car. Your car has loads of moving parts, and the more complicated the car is, the more it can break down, yeah? So the chances of you turning your ignition and it actually working, by the way, are so low, it's surprising that it ever works at all. And if you think about the world as a big system, there are so many people, so many systems connected, so many moving parts all happening at the same time. And the more complicated it gets, the harder it is to control, and the more likely it is to break. Yeah, that's how systems work. The more complicated a system, the more parts it has, the more likely it's going to break. And because of globalization, we're now living in a global culture where everything's connected to everyone else, is more and more and more and more and more complicated. So if one thing falls apart here, it affects something over here. If something happens here, it affects something here, and everything affects everything else. So get off the Titanic while you can, and free yourself emotionally from it. Question what's going on, and I suggest having the simplest life you possibly can have. Simple, simple, simple. Have less needs, less stuff, less of everything. Money's fine, have money, have gold if you want, but the more your life is simplified massively, yeah, the less you need, the more free you are. The more you need, the more trapped you are, because the system won't be able to deliver all these complicated things to us. Yeah? So if the system collapses, which it will collapse, and you don't need much yourself because you feel good in yourself and you've got a simple life and you're okay with a simple life, if you have a simple life and you're happy with a simple life, then when things fall apart, which they are going to fall apart, and they already are, you won't be that bothered about it because you don't need much anyway. Yeah, but if we need 12 different kinds of shampoo and all these funny supplements and all that, I mean, I like supplements and I have all these things, but the simpler our life is, the freer we are, the more powerful we are. The more complicated our life is, the more we need, the more trapped we are. So how do you get off the Titanic? How do you get off it? Simplify your life and come into a place of inner security where you feel safe internally through higher levels of consciousness, through meditation. I do a meditation almost every evening to help people become free and help them experience feeling totally secure. Yeah? Because when we feel secure in ourselves, when we feel safe internally, then life can change and all these things can happen, but we have a security that's on a higher level. It's a higher level security than anything physically. If my security is based on my house or based on my health or based on people being nice to me, that's going to change because you can't guarantee anything. But when our security is based on an inner state, which we can learn, by the way, it's a practice, and we have a simple life, then we have got off the Titanic. We've got off the sinking ship. Yeah. So if you want to get off the sinking ship and save your ass while you can, then simplify your life and find the security in a higher level within yourself. It's a spiritual security. It's a security based on being an eternal being. It's not security based on having insurance policies or gold coins, do you know what I mean, and all these things. It's security on a higher level. And I'm sharing this with you from the heart because I know what's going to happen. And I know when it does, you're going to be extremely grateful you took care of yourself and you looked after yourself and you helped other people. And the ones who know this are in a responsibility to help others, so you know about these things. You first of all can change your own self so you feel safe, and then you can help other people. This isn't a time for charging around and all this nonsense. That time is finished. This is like a different game we're living in. This is a mad world. It's a mad world. We don't know when the whole thing's going to collapse. The economists, by the way, have already predicted global economy collapse a long time ago. All the governments are bankrupt, basically, apart from maybe one or two of them. All governments bankrupt, the banks are bankrupt. The GDP is almost getting to 100% or more than 100% in these different countries. You've just got to do your own research on this, and you see that in the very near future, the whole economy is going to collapse, and there's going to be all sorts of crazy things happening. So we better get our shit together now, and not just be under the delusion that nothing's ever going to change. Yeah. Of course, if you've got business ideas, serve people, make money, there's nothing wrong with that. But on a deeper level, be safe in yourself and simple. This isn't the time for buying hundreds of handbags and testing out all the best wines in the world. Yeah, it's like done. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, just look around you. Yeah, so ask yourself, what's really going on? What's really going on? How do you feel? Simplify, and find that peace within yourself, which isn't just a theory. It's not just a nice idea. It's an experience that we can all have. It just takes a bit of shift in our focus. Yeah, it's a very, very practical thing. So I'm doing meditations every day to help you to feel that. 6 o'clock Pacific time at the moment. When I go to other countries and other places, it'll be a different time, but just tune out for it. So I wish you safety, I wish you freedom, and I wish you to feel safe and help other people get on that lifeboat. Get on that lifeboat, find stable ground, and enjoy your life now from a higher place, knowing things are going to change, but being okay with it anyway. Because it's a wonderful game, and the more we feel free, the less we need, and the more we feel free, the more we can enjoy the game of life and all the wonders of life. So I love you. Thank you very much. Sending you many, many blessings, and have a beautiful, beautiful day. Yay.